Okay, so last video I ranked my top 10 favorite goals that we've seen in Blue Lock so far. Keep in mind I wrote this script before the video is even posted. I'm recording before this is posted too, as I'm wearing the exact same clothes I just recorded the other video. Talk about making the most of my time. Point is, I have no clue how the video is received, but it doesn't matter because I really want to make this one. It's safe to say that the goals are the most hype and fan favorite moments from the manga, with incredible displays such as Lavinho's dance or the first sighting that we get to see of Kaiser Impact. It's hard to argue that anything else can get you more hyped. Well, unless you're me. While not having the intensity and action that comes with scoring the goals, the celebrations hit by those who just drilled an absolute banger into the net are truly one of my favorite parts of the manga. I genuinely don't care about what anyone else says. When you see a little Japanese boy with some sort of crazy ass hair nailing a shot top bins and hitting the hardest pose ever, it's kind of hard not to get hyped. And don't even get me started on how good the colored manga panels make this shit look, because this is definitely going to be the most opinionated video I've made, but it's also like the least problematic topic. I don't think that anyone should have a problem with my favorite celebrations. But hey, if you want to disagree, you know I'd love to hear what you got to say in the comments down below. I'm always down to debate. Similar to my last video, let me know down below what your favorite goal celebration is in the entirety of Blue Lock so far. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Coming in at number 10, we have Bachiru's Hang Loose. So I was kind of running a little thin on options when it came to number 10, so I'm taking Bachiru's Hang Loose. For those of you who aren't aware, this is the Hang Loose sign. That's really all it is. Bachiro hits it after nailing his absolutely insane B shot, obviously referencing Lavinho as we see him do this a lot. I thought it was a pretty cool one, and the B shot is fucking insane, so I think it deserves the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, Shido Explodes. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about with this, Shido talks about exploding a lot, and in particular, I'm referencing the absolutely demonic pose he hits as he's giving Kunigami and Ryo the works in the 2v2. I'm giving this a couple extra points because he was teammates with Monk, so that's basically like being down 5 men. Shido was soloing both of them, and the fact that the author decided to add those demon wings behind him, icing on the cake. It's great. Number 8, Enter the King. Coming in, I believe, the first game? Yeah, first game, right? The first game that we see the obvious dominant force to come out of that game is the King, Baro Shoei. As we see the entirety of both teams just piling up against each other, each player trying to get the ball for themselves, Baro bursts out of the pile, taking the ball on his own and scoring an absolute dominant solo goal. This is topped off with one of the craziest I'm better than you speeches ever. All while his team members who he does not give a fuck about just stand behind, cheering him on, praising the King as if he is literal royalty, while he stands there saying, "Bring it on, bitch, But yeah, I really like that one. Number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Blue Lock's Victory. Now this one is honestly pretty wholesome. I think it is one of the coolest designs that we've seen, especially, and I say this a lot, when you get into the fan-colored mangas, because they do it so much better than the anime's done it so far. The atmosphere for the goal was insane. The entirety of Japan watching, Isagi drills the lucky last-minute game winner, leading to the Blue Lock 11's victory. He then goes on to sprint down the field, screaming with his arms wide out, before jumping into the arms of his elated teammates, as they just took the biggest W of their lives. This final shot, accompanied with the final score itself of the game, makes for the perfect way to close out the greatest game in all of Blue Lock. Number 6, Nagi Awakens. No matter what video it is, my Nagi bias is going to shine through, and I feel like you guys are going to get pissed off about it soon, so I'm just warning you. I talked about it in my last video. The goal Nagi scores is absolutely electric, but I love this celebration. It's a two-parter, I guess you could say, so much for a couple different reasons. Number 1, once he lands from scoring that goal, you see him scream at the top of his lungs. This is something that is really out of the ordinary for Nagi because we don't really see him show too much emotion. So seeing him this worked up over scoring such an insane goal just shows a little bit of character growth, and I love seeing that from my boy. Not to mention the pose he hits where he just stretches his arms out, puts his head down, and Ryo's jumping on his back. It's so sick. It reminds me of like some Attitude Era WWE shit. So sick. Deserves to be on this list. Number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Shido's Flow. Okay, along with my Nagi bias, I also have a pretty big Shido bias, and that's just because I think he's the coldest character in the entire show. He's done the coldest shit in the entire show. I'm specifically talking about when he scores his super goal. We obviously see that he entered the flow, and he's completely overcome with emotions, as the second he scores it, we see him jump straight up into the air, screaming as loud as he can, proclaiming to the world that he is Shido Ryusei, and they will remember his name. The setting, the atmosphere, the intensity of the art style, and most of all, the colored manga panels makes this not only one of my favorite goal celebrations in the entirety of the manga, but one of my favorite panels in the entirety of the manga itself, so it's deserving of this number 5 spot. Moving on to the next one, we have number 4, Kaiser's Execution. Jesus Christ, I really don't want to talk about this dickhead, but I'm going to. Say what you want about this guy, but he's fucking good. Michael Kaiser is the best striker in all of Blue Lock. I'm honestly going to go off on a tangent and say that. Even though I do claim that Shido has a better scoring ability than him, I think it's like an overall scoring ability, but as far as shooting wise, it's not even close. Kaiser's the number 1. Just as all the Blue Lock members are introduced to the first world-class weapon that they have ever had to come up against, Kaiser Impact completely disrupts the entire status quo of the manga. We know Kaiser's abilities have to be pretty impressive as he's part of the New World 11, but I don't think any of us were expecting this. And it's made even better as everyone sits there in awe, wondering what the fuck they just saw, and he just bows, claiming that they have all just been executed. God, his cockiness just makes this even cooler. Fuck. He deserves to be here. I don't think it's a secret. Moving on. Moving on from one king to another, we have number 3, the Roar of the King. I alluded to this in my top 10 goals video, but this is honestly one of my favorite moments in the entirety of the manga, and the celebration is honestly one of the biggest factors to it. The art style surrounding the goal itself, with the lion made of fireworks coming out of Baro's back, it's sick, don't get me wrong, but just the shot of him ripping his shirt off, jumping up into the air, and screaming at the top of his lungs, with the entirety of the stands just on their feet going absolutely electric, cameras flashing, this, that, and the other thing. It honestly takes you out of reality for a second and makes you think about being in that scenario just for a second, and it's truly insane how an art style can be so intense to where it honestly encapsulates you. Everything about this panel, I love. His face, how ripped he is, dude, I need his workout plan. Not to mention this is a very significant goal, even though it doesn't really factor into this type of ranking. Still, it deserves to be up here, and honestly, some people would say it deserves to be even higher than this. But I feel like there's still 2 that are better. Speaking of which, number 2, Lavinio's Bow. I mean, come on. I hit it in the last video. It's fucking hard, dude. And again, colored manga panels. That's all you need to know. Just look them up, and you're going to want to change your lock screen. You're going to want to change your profile picture, something. Lavinio is genuinely one of the coldest players in the entirety of the manga. And he's going to stay that way. I mean, he's a fucking dribble god. They're always going to be cool. Pair this with some of the best shit talk we've seen as he calls the entire team cripples and tells them to dance till they fucking die. Lavinio deserves to be up here. If he's not 2, then he's 3. If he's not 3, he's 1. I feel like a lot of people are going to say he's 1, but I'm not one of those people. Because number 1, Shido hits the pose. I am prepared to go down as an absolute Shido dick rider on this one. I do not care. This is the coldest panel. The coldest panel in the entirety of the manga. Nothing comes close. I'm sorry. Nothing. Nothing. And I will not debate that. It's like the most simple celebration you could possibly do. But it was so cold. Given Shido's character, the fact that he just stood there and took it all in after basically dropping his balls on the field saying, "I'm here, bitch. Remember me." It's insane. Not to mention the fact that he was about to, you know, let's not talk about that. 3 words. You guys all know them. Colored manga panels. Look them up. You'll get it instantly. That's number 1. Nothing else is number 1. I don't care what you say. All right, that's going to do it for today's video, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially if you stayed throughout the entirety of the video. I really do appreciate it. Please consider dropping a like on this video and subbing up to the channel with post notifications turned on, because why would you want to miss another amazing Blue Lock video like this? I mean, I wouldn't. Anyways, once again, thank you so much, and let me know what you thought about the video down below in the comment section, and that's all I got for you today. Love you, boys. Take it easy.